Hi everyone, we're back again for part 3 of our Phish David Bowie lesson. We did the whole first crazy part, the last 2 lessons. Now we're on to the other crazy part later in the tune. And that crazy part, or at least the part we're going to talk about today, goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever happens after that, we're going to worry about next time. So, because there's obviously plenty there to talk about already. So, a couple things to keep in mind with this section is that there's a rhythmic pattern that's really weird. You could kind of think of it however you want, sort of, as long as there's just enough notes in every measure. You could put the bar line wherever you want. But I like to think that it's 3 bars of 5 and a bar of 3, 4 bars of 5 and a bar of 3. But we'll get to that later. You kind of don't even need to think about it too much if you don't want to, because we all know what the song sounds like anyways. But more importantly, everything I just played, which is so much stuff, of course, but it's really only 2 different variations on a very similar thing. And once you get those 2 variations down in the first 2 keys, then it's just a matter of starting each one on the right fret. Which makes it a little less intimidating, because you really only need to get the muscle memory of 2 things, and then it's a matter of like, which fret do I start each one on? So it starts in E, and it alternates variations pretty much the whole time, where like you start in E, and you do variation 1, the whole thing moves up a half step to F, and it's variation 2, then you do F sharp, it's variation 1, then you do G, and it's variation 2, so on and so forth. So it starts in E, variation 1, which goes like this. It starts with like an E triad, but with your pinky up here on the 12th fret. And it sort of does this 3-note grouping thing. So it goes 12, 10, and 9 on your B string. It's just that, okay? Okay? Then it goes to... well, you start on B and D sharp, but you slide it up a half step to C and E. It's a little major third, and you do it twice. So, okay? From there, your middle finger can stay right on this E note that it's already on, and it does this little arpeggio here, which happens to be an E minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. And it's 9th fret G, 8th and 11th fret B string, 10th fret high E, and then back to those 2 notes on your B string, but in reverse. Okay, so we have... Okay, from here, then I would do... It's almost like an E flat triad. This, but hammer on to like an A flat triad, but from this kind of like what we recognize as like a caged C shape, but with no pinky. You don't have to put your pinky down. So it goes... So... that, and then this note, and then your pinky actually plays this note, D flat on the D string, and then down a whole half step to C. So, okay, this is kind of the hardest part to really get nice and articulate and tight, in my opinion. Okay, so from the C note now, then you go up an A flat dominant 7th arpeggio, which, if you don't know what that means, whatever, just get the frets right. 8th fret and 11th fret G string, then an A flat note, 9th fret B string, and then 8th fret high E. So And then you can go back down the same 3 notes that you're already fretting. So, okay, and then an F7 arpeggio, which is barring the 8th fret and putting your ring finger on the B string a whole step or 2 frets above where you're barring. I think he could also do that, but I think it's that. I keep listening and I keep thinking it's that. Okay? That's variation 1. Let's do it one more time. Okay? Then we're on to variation 2, and we move the whole thing up, starting on F now. Okay? We moved up a half step. So the first thing is basically what the first thing was in variation 1, but it's backwards. So instead of... It actually starts with this, with just the triad, and goes... Right? So it goes low to high instead of high to low. Okay? So the next thing's the same too. You'll go... And it's kind of a funny shape. It's just not where you would expect that third to be if you're thinking an F major. So just, it's kind of 1 fret higher than you would expect. Really, it's kind of like a flat 6 major chord, but we don't even need to know that. Just play the right stuff. That's the same thing as before. So now we go up that same arpeggio as before too, but instead of doing 1 note and going up to your high E, you only do 3 notes. You never go up to the high E, and you hit each note twice. Okay? So, okay? Then it's this shape again, too. Taking this, which now in the new key that we're in is an E triad, and you hammer on to A. But it does it a little different. You hammer on twice with a little rest there. I think it's 3 beats of rest. 1, 2, 3. And then you do a D major triad. And then this cool E chord, which is like that, but with the 3rd on the bottom and my pinky playing the 5th on the B string. So, and you hit it twice. And then this little slidey thing. So, let's do the whole thing again. So, 2 notes. E to A twice. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's variation 2. The hard part's kind of over, thankfully. So now we're back to variation 1, but we start on F sharp now. We did an E variation 1, F variation 2. Now we're to F sharp and it's variation 1 again. Oh, sorry. Now we're up to G variation 2. Okay, now by this point, the next half step key up, we just did G, is A flat, right? But this time when we get to A flat, just hit a good old A flat major chord and chill out for 5 beats. Okay? So we do variation 1 in E, variation 2 in F, variation 1 in F sharp, variation 2 in G, and then a good old A flat major chord for 5 beats. All right? Take a breath. Okay. So, from this A flat chord, whenever, there's one other time where this happens, but when there's this sort of palate cleanser chord where nothing happens, you just hold it for 5 beats. The next thing that happens is we're going to go down a 5th. So go down to a D flat chord. And we're really looking for, if you know where a D flat bar chord is like this, we just need to find where that bar is that's usually in the chord and put our first finger there. Okay? So now it's variation 1. Okay? Now we're in D, we do variation 2. E flat, variation 1. Little bit of a curveball here. Last time we did variation 2 and then that nice rest on A flat. This time it happens after doing variation 1 in the key of E flat, and we hit an E chord after variation 1. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we go a fifth down from there again. A fifth below E is A. So go to the 2nd fret. Variation 1. B flat, variation 2. And we're going to stop there for this week. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff, you know, but it's going to be okay. If finding each key that you do it in is a little tough, maybe I'll put it this way. The whole passage would be variation 1 starting on the 7th fret. Variation 2 starting on the 8th fret. Variation 3 starting on the 9th fret. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Forget that I said that. I'm sorry. We're all human. Variation 1 starting on the 9th fret. Variation 2 starting on the 10th fret. Variation 1 starting on the 11th fret. Variation 2 on the 12th fret. 13th fret, chill out for 5 beats. Then, variation 1 on the 6th fret. Variation 2 on the 7th fret. Variation 1 on the 8th fret. Chill out on the 7th fret for 5 beats. Then, variation 1 on the 2nd fret. Variation 2 on the 3rd fret. That's it, if that's easier to think about. And that's the whole thing. You know what I want to try just for fun, and I might humiliate myself? What happens if I play along with the studio recording? Where is it here? Will they even let me do this? I'm not sure. They actually might have trademark stuff. There might be some bot that makes me take the lesson down. I don't think so, though. I'm going to do it. Okay, here it comes. This should be it. Whoa! We'll get to that part next time. Anyways, this is going to be great. Have fun with it. Take your time. It's not going to happen overnight. Just have a blast with it. It's super fun to play. It's good for your hands, good for your brain. And I'll see y'all real soon with the next part. It's going to be fun. Bye-bye.